Alright guys, it's Davis coming in for another video. I feel like it's been a while. How you guys been? Holding up good? Doing all the good stuff? Alright, let's get into it. So today I wanted to talk about another multi-tool. Um, One that I carry on and off when I need something lighter than an actual multi-tool. And this is one of my absolute, well, I don't know if I'd say absolute favorite, but this is a good alternative to an regular multi-tool. And that would be the Victorinox Trekker. This guy has a ton of good features. I really like them all. And some that I think are unique for Victorinox. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I'm not sure the blade steel they use in this. I've never looked that far into it. And the one thing I really love about this knife is it's a locking blade. The one thing I'm not a fan of with this blade, well, a couple of things. It is a chisel grind, so it is only ground on one side, and it's serrated on this top half. But the way it's scalloped, it actually makes for a decent cutter. It actually cuts instead of sawing and hacking things up, which I like, especially if you're gonna have a serrated blade. You got that beautiful Victorinox polish on there, mirror polished. It's amazing. And the one thing that I thought was crazy, especially about a Victorinox knife, is that it's a locking blade. And the one thing about it is it's a left-handed locking blade. I don't know if they're all like that or if I just ended up buying one that was left-handed. Yeah, so I saw the Spidey hole, so it's one-handed opening, locking, and left-handed closing, which I can close right-handed, but it's kind of weird. So this lock bar I push with my middle finger and close it from there. Aside from that, it does have some other locking tools, so I don't know why, but the bottle opener is a locking tool too, so that locks open. It also has a wire crimp, and it's the large Phillips head, or sorry, flathead screwdriver. On the other side, we got the can opener with the mini flathead driver. And the last but not least on this side of the knife is a wood saw. The wood saw is decent. I've cut through at least 1-inch boards with this thing as a test. I haven't really checked it out in the wild, but from my testing, it would be just fine for cutting. It actually cuts really nicely. One of my favorite tools on this thing that I use actually more often than I thought it would be the awl. I use this thing a lot. It is probably just as much as the main blade on here. So what I use it for is just stuff around the house. So pilot hole for a screw, so you know if you need to make a little pre-hole for a wood screw, that's really good. Cutting holes in belts, in watches, you know, making extra notches, that's really nice. And it also makes a good scribe, so if you need to scratch something in a hard surface, that works really well for that too. This thing does have a really meaty Phillips head on there. I mean, that thing is fucking huge, so it'll definitely be good for EDC purposes, just like everyday screws and stuff around the house. But that is really beefy. And again, I'm not sure the weight, but it's at least half the weight of an actual multi-tool, which is nuts for this thing being as thick as it is. And so as I was saying, I carry this as a multi-tool. So the days I do carry it, it goes in the pocket, and I carry a main blade for my EDC knife stuff. I know, which is weird, but this is actually a backup blade, just like the blade on a multi-tool. And I would like to say that this blade is pretty pristine, but I have used it a decent amount. And that's, again, one of the, I don't know if I call it a flaw, but one of the things about this knife was through a heavy box cutting, it now has up and down play. No side to side, but a little bit of up and down. And I don't know if that's just from the leaf spring or the lock bar. But yeah, aside from that, it's been a really nice knife. It's been really good. You know, you get, I lost the toothpick, but you get the toothpick and the tweezers. I use them for both vaping installations because I build the coils and shit, or first aid. Um, I really like them, especially for first aid. So that's why another reason why I like to carry this knife is backup tweezers and toothpick. I shouldn't have to explain to you what tweezers and toothpicks are used for in first aid, but maybe I will in another video. um, and again, it looks like we have a decent amount of time left, so I guess I'll roll two knives into one video. So this is another backup knife that I've been known to carry. And I've switched up my carry in this knife within the last 3 months. And this is this little itty bitty tiny blade, which is actually amazing for an EDC knife. And what this is this is the Boker Amsler Silk. So this is a another, well, I shouldn't say another because this one's a different company, but a little collaboration with Amsler Knives and Boker Plus. The blade steel on here, I want to say, is a 440C with a black stone, or with a titanium stonewash. So this has got the Tynite coating, titanium nitrate. And the amazing thing is you actually get titanium slabs on this 440C knife, which is insane, right? Especially since I paid $30 shipping and handling for this guy, that I got actual titanium slabs and a titanium bead. This for one is actually not one of my lanyards. This actually came on the knife. Ew, you're gross. No. But again, for EDC purposes, I love this thing. If you just need something really quick, open a letter, open a packaging, you know, everyday stuff that's outside of work, this thing is really cool. So again, like I said, I switched up my carry. So originally when I got this guy, I used to carry it in the coin pocket in your jeans. So that's the small pocket you don't know what the fuck is there for. And then for a while also, I used to loop some paracord through the top and the bottom, and I used to carry it on the belt as like a fixed blade. And that didn't work too good for me. It was just weird. It didn't work. I don't know, it just didn't work for me personally. So now my absolute favorite way to carry this guy is as a neck knife. And it carries insanely well as a neck knife because it's not too heavy, so you don't really notice it's there. Another thing is this thing came with an actual custom Kydex sheath, riveted Kydex, which is insane, right? Again, I only paid $30 for this knife, so to get custom Kydex, it's actual Kydex, not just some plastic shits they threw together, and some titanium slabs is insane. China U is crazy. It came decently sharp. The edge held up pretty well. I touched it up not too long ago. It seems like I might have to touch it up again. So again, the steel is pretty soft, but it shouldn't be horribly soft, especially if you're just using it for light tasks like I do. And again, if you need to do hardcore stuff, it should be able to handle it, because if you see, that's a pretty stout blade on there. That's pretty fucking thick at the flats. It's a pretty beastly little knife. Again, if you just look at the thickness of the tang of the knife, it's fucking insane. But it really does taper down to a really fine point. And I just love the stonewash on this thing. It's just gorgeous. But and just the design of the Tonto. I'm usually not a big fan of the Tonto, but I love this angle. Because the thing I hate about a lot of Tontos is they're usually too steep. They're almost like a chisel. And I just really don't, aesthetically, I don't like a really chisel looking knife. Um, so this is a really good compromise. And I just love the looks of it. And I wanted an Amsler, so I just, paid an eighth of the price for it. But again, as an EDC knife, just as a little guy, I absolutely love this thing. Cutting open boxes, I mean, any little light EDC tasks, this thing is just amazing. And if you really want to carry a fixed blade for EDC, which I have some other options, visually a little more boring than my usual EDC, but I have some fixed blade options I can show you guys later for EDC. But if you really wanted a fixed blade EDC, I really don't think you can go bad with this guy. It's easy to carry, it's affordable, it's cheap, and it looks cool. It'll impress your friends. I know it's not a real reason to own your knife, but it definitely grabs attention in the way of looks. It's a really beautifully built knife, especially for production. Yeah, so I randomly turned this into a 2-for-1 video. So, yeah. I hope you guys had a great week. I hope you have a great weekend coming up, Get out in the world, explore, do some shits, have some experiences, and enjoy life. This is Davis, signing off.